And good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farm Sim. Oh crap! Yes, Farm Sim 22 on Maypole Farm, and I am in the process of dealing with our huge shortfall in hay. So I picked up about 5 hay contracts. I have borrowed one of the contracts equipment because it came with a big M. So that got the mowing side of it done, and then I'm using my equipment, well, I'm using some of my tractors for the tedding and the baling and the stuff. So we are getting close to the end of all the contracts. 2 fields are fully tedded and baled. One has been completely tedded and raked and needs to be the baling finished on it. The baling is for the most part finished on it. And I need to get our Massey over to the last field to set it off on a worker to ted. And I can then get back to our John Deere and finish off the baling in the field it's in. And we have a worker in the borrowed tractor raking the field that this tractor just left. It is almost lunchtime, game time, so 5 contracts in the morning, not bad. It does technically give me time to do contracts this afternoon, if I feel like it. But really our big push at the moment is to get some hay for the cows. And these contracts, well, there was a recent fix, but these contracts tend to supply significant overage in green stuff, grass products, so silage or hay bales. So we can definitely chew through what we have quite, yeah. It won't take a lot, is what I'm trying to say, to complete the contract. Okay, I need to run a lap and then we'll set the worker off. With the rake, I'm generally setting it off up and down the middle and then running the headland last. Just because it can bring in, like I've done with the mowing here, I've left a good margin at the edge of the field so that we don't have too much. I'm not throwing the hay outside of the area, whatever area that is, out of the field area where it can't be picked up. And then the rake is the Kuhn merge, so that also has you can set that to bias to one side. So we've got it set up as left drop, so again that gives me the ability to pull the hay away from the field, the edge of the field, so it's not impeding the baler at all. So come around here and you can be a worker. Bye bye. Okay, and engine's still on, baler's running. So, yeah, again, we have... I'm quite happy we've got this tractor. I think I upped the engine to 388. It's an R3, it's 8R340. 8R. Okay, 280. 310, 340 is 388. It's not what I'm used to when it comes to serial numbers. Normally, the last two digits are a closer indication of the horsepower rating of the tractor. And so a 340 I would expect to be a low 300s tractor, whether it's 340, 345, 336, somewhere along those lines. But a 340 is 388 horsepower, so a bit different. But as I've said, this is a good starting large tractor for us. We'll probably end up with at least one other, just to deal with the heavy field work. I left the Deutz still attached to the sprayer. We're going to end up with all our vehicles down at the store at the end of this. So, might be worth looking at, do we need any piece of equipment that we could bring home with us? I haven't looked at the store sales yet. We'll leave that as a little bit of surprise later. I'll probably forget. So we'll leave it as a surprise after I've driven all my tractors home. Okay, turn that off. Eject. Boof. Yeah, okay. We'll probably need to leave that folded and lift the thing. Not shutting the gates because we've got to come back with the collector, so might as well leave that as is. And we can run this guy down to field number 4, contract number 4. But yeah, we can definitely look at, it's April, that's good. We can definitely look at getting a bigger mowing kit for the farm now. Might eventually look at a bigger mulcher and a roller at some point, but things that we really need is a bigger seeder and just a harvester. Long hauler, good morning, welcome to Saturday. Oh, and it snowed here last night, so we now have snow on the grass and trees and shrubs, but nothing on the roads or the pathways. This here, I'll let him do his thing. Oh, we've nearly got a full bale again. This guy is, crikey, almost finished. So I guess as soon as this guy's done, we'll run him back to the store. And he'll be good for done. Do need a manure wagon because we have way too much manure. Now obviously we do you're only supposed to use manure at the beginning of the year, so or end of previous year. So it's maybe we can balance it out. We'll do solid manure for winter crops, and then actually no, should probably do slurry for winter crops because we're injecting the slurry, so that goes straight into the ground, and obviously we're harvesting in fall, summer fall, so get those fields prepared, put slurry down, and then for the other fields that we harvest late in the fall, we can just throw manure on them and then wait till spring before we plant. We had a fun week this week. I put the car in the garage for winter because I thought, okay, I don't need to use that. Mrs. Osa's just out of the hospital, so not really easy to bend over, so getting into a small car is not the ideal situation. So I figured, okay, I'll put the car away and we'll just use the SUV. And I was putting the car away and the check engine light comes on. So I said, ugh. Okay, not a worry, I'll do that in the spring when although I don't like leaving a car in the garage for the entire winter because things get cold and sort of ice up. But yeah, so check engine light came on, and then last Thursday, driving home from the hospital, the check engine light came on the SUV. So I now need to take the SUV in for a check. And OnStar sent me a message to say, yeah, your car's got a problem and you should check it in for a service tomorrow. So that's a little bit of a concern. And the earliest the guys could get it in to look at was Tuesday. So kind of want to limit the driving in the SUV, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, I think we can drop this one here. And I will park this over here. Alright. Oh, we need... Actually... We don't exactly need, but might be worth a stop over here. Does not seem to be working. There we go. Okay. So that's refueling. That's just sitting there. That's still waiting for him to finish. We can probably jump over here. I have not checked how much milk the cows have. 45,000 litres. That's almost 2 tanks. Check the expensive cows. 20%, 40%, 60%. So about 4 months we'll get some more cows again. Anything else we need to check? I think everything else we've got going is now good. Generally What's that? That's the pH. We weren't able to lime that field. This probably needs limed this coming harvest. The rest were all done very recently. And nitrogen, that's grass. That's soybeans. Soybeans don't care about nitrogen. Grass is a fairly low nitrogen crop, although that could probably do with a top up. Oats, mid-range. Wheat and barley and canola is lots. Canola is a serious amount. I didn't realise canola needed that much nitrogen when we spread it last week. Yields are, you know, reasonably okay, I would say. That's workers. We're still in planting season, but we got nothing to plant. So we've got to wait till July before harvest happens. And we are looking at, sun coming up at 6 o'clock. And May is going to be wet. Don't think I've got much in. We've got 45,000 milk, 38,000 straw, and lots and lots of that. Money's doing well. We did purchase land this month. We purchased the wheat field straight across from the farm. Apart from that, we haven't got anything in the positive yet. Although that said, sold milk. We should have about 50,000 in milk, possibly by the end of today. Okay, I'm gonna back this guy off. Don't really want to go around this way, but I don't have a choice. Ideally, I'd like to end up at the gate, but it's not really going to happen. So I'll get the outside loop done. And then we'll take this over to the last field. And I can start baling this one unimpeded. Oops. I still don't know if this destroys any crop windrowing it more than once, or even windrowing it once. And obviously the really large piles of grass are not going to be easy to pick up with the thing that I use that does the stuff. I want to try and get that to line up as close as possible, and we can fold that up. I believe this particular device was one of the expansions in Farm Sim 17, and at that time, if you folded it up while it was moving, I think there were a couple of latches that the arms latched onto. It looks like they've been replaced by elastic bands. That's interesting. Oh well, who knows. But there were a couple of latches that held the wings in place, and if you were driving along while you were folding it up, the wings did not fold properly or didn't clamp down, and so you ended up with them flapping around as you were driving along. Oh, I suppose we should switch it off too. What is this? This is a 930. Again, would have been a good option if we hadn't bought the 8R. As I've said, we're really not in the market for another tractor right now. I think we have sufficient to do all the work that needs to get done on the farm. So I'm not going to be collecting bales until we've got all of the bales produced. So get this one to field. Field 5 is not going to take much to rake. So this will be done by the time we get the baler over here. In fact, this will be done way before we get the baler over here. Dull overcast day. The lighting is really nice on this now. Okay, straight through to the back. To the left, I can still see the tyre tracks. And here we are. Oh, if I can get it facing the right way. Ouch. Lower that. I think what I'll do is I'll start on the angle, get it straight, and then set the worker off. This field isn't the greatest. Kind of short. Okay, let's. Oh. I forgot to unfold the bale dump. Yeah, I did. Thank you. And we are going. I will drive straight in. Oh, of course, I did the bale empty trick at the last field, so I'm not. I was worried about, oh, I'm going to drop a bale where I want to go, but yeah. I am doing dump the bale that's in the tractor or in the baler before we go out on the road. So no risks immediately, and that just dropped on a big pile of grass. Nice. Alrighty. So again, not the most exciting of tasks. We have eaten up a lot of money. I think we started today over 100, probably 102, 105,000, and we've spent a lot on worker wages. I think we should probably do okay once we start claiming the contracts off. That'll repay about 20,000-30,000, I guess. Enough to keep us going for a while. And what I might do later is take the Deutz out for a run and run off a couple of fertilisation or spraying contracts. I thought I was going to leave the sprayer over in the other yard, I must admit. Or is it in the other yard and I'm just completely missing that? So anyway, that's the lap done. Try not to mess with that one too much. Okay. Looks like there's a little blob I missed there, but hopefully we're okay. I really don't want to end up with too little in the baler at the end of this, but when you distribute over 5 fields across the whole map, it's a choice between grabbing all of the grass and just getting it done. Then you don't know how much you're going to end up left in the baler until you get to the last field, which in our case is the smallest. Anyway, I'll try and collect as much as I can. That way, because it's all going to the cows, and that's the reason. Yeah, the money's nice, but the cows need food, so really need to make sure we get that particular job covered. Rake's still running, that's good. I'm not even sure that the pickup on this is as good as our little round baler. Sometimes it just feels like we're missing more, but it could be that the merge is not quite as accurate, creating a row as, say, our Vermeer rake is. Okay, I'm going to cut these 2 off. We'll figure 8 back. And there we go. So I did miss a bit at the beginning of the previous row. Rake's still running, so that's good. Oh, and the other question was, should we buy the dairy? Which may be a plan that we should consider. I think the dairy's only 90,000, so it's not that expensive. And when we're making like 75,000 litres of milk per month, that's a lot of potential profit that will cover the cost of that in almost no time. I'm not sure how much more we can get for cheese and butter, but we shouldn't. See, the milk is not. It's not a production that I've taken a close look at the numbers on. I think when it comes to flour is good. It does process very quickly. You might only get 10%, 15% extra when you factor in the cost of running the production. However, I mean, we've seen it'll process all of our grain that we produce pretty much in a couple of months, because we are spreading out what we're growing. We're going to be growing wheat, barley, and oats this year. We did sorghum last year, and a couple of tens of thousands of litres of each are processed very quickly by that production. The slow point is obviously the bakery, which doesn't produce very quickly at all. So while bread is valuable, it's